I am testing some things out today, so I'm not even. Do I always start the same way? Oh boy, what just fell out? The you know, the charger cord. Hang on just a sec. Oh boy, off to a good start. Where is it? Okay, going in. Oh boy, got it. Okay, I got it. Plug it back in. Okay, that was fun. So I'm trying some things. So I didn't even announce that I was doing this. So we'll see if anybody shows up. Um, I'm trying. So I got in flawlessly. That's yay. But I also started it immediately and didn't try to schedule it. So I still don't know how to schedule it. So there you go. And I turned off. I shut down Safari, my other browser, the browser I normally use, to see if maybe that would make the sound better. I need my makeup. Makeup. There's no makeup person. Um, and what else am I trying? I'm also, well, seeing if anybody shows up, but I'm also over here on my iPad trying to watch my thing. But I don't know how to do that, so that's fun. So, let's see, notifications. Oh, look, I'm live now. Oh boy. Off to a good start. But I don't know how to do that. Okay, I don't know how to mute, so I just, that's hilarious because it's not actually live. So that's going to be fun. How do I make it actually live? Okay, it's going to be, okay, that's going to be really distracting. Oh, hi, Marilyn. It tells me, okay, on my iPad, I can see that Marilyn's watching me and that I'm watching. Okay, so there's an advantage to having the iPad going. My experiment is proving valuable, but I don't understand why I'm not live over here. Boop. 206. So, just hang in there. Live 211. Where am I? I don't know. 222. How far behind am I? Okay. Sam's here to say hi. I know I'm live, Marilyn. Thank you. I see you. I'm trying to figure out how to be in sync with the iPad and the. Anyway, it's not going to be right now. Okay. Well, hi. So I'll talk to Marilyn. I'm thinking, my big epiphany today is that I'm thinking of changing where I teach my Zoom classes. Not from here because it's too messy in the background, but I perch on a stool or a tall chair at my, oh yeah, it is there, a tall table. Hi, come on up. Come on. Oh, you can be on the Facebook Live. Oops. I perch and it's uncomfortable and then I can't reach things. So, and my tall table could be like my work table, like I planned it to be instead of my Zoom table. So that's what I'm thinking about. Because I'm always rearranging because it's never perfect. So that was a thing I thought of today. Although if I Zoom from here, I'm going to be distracted by the squirrels. There's a cute little red squirrel out there, or maybe it's not a squirrel. It's little. It's bigger than a chipmunk. Okay, so I don't know how the sound's doing, because it was kind of like fuzzy, muffled, muted a little bit the last few times. But anyway, here's what I'm going to talk about today. I have a piece. Okay, now I can't have the cat. All right, you have to be good. I have a piece that I knit. It's a swatch. And if I had the bag with all my stuff in it, which might be, hang on, this one, then I could tell you what needle I used. Yes, that is indeed it. So there's a needle in here. Hopefully just one. Yep. So this needle is the needle I used for this swatch. So if it was a perfect world and I had a needle gauge, see, that's the other problem with the world. It's not perfect. Okay. Oh, maybe it says right on it. It does. It's a 5. It's a 5, Marilyn. I used a 5. It's bamboo. And I did this swatch, which I was holding up until I put it down. So, ouch. Here's the swatch. And that's the bottom of the front. And then this is what I swatched stripe-wise after playing with my colors on Illustrator. And then I held it up before I blocked it. And I originally thought, I don't know what I originally thought. So now I'm thinking that it will be striped all the way up with that little bit of shoulder shaping. Whoops. Let's see, you're not helping. Okay. Mirror image is weird. So with that little bit of shoulder shaping so that the stripes would show up under the neck shaping. So the neck shaping would be in black. What do you think? And then we'll see how long it blocks. So I'm going to measure it. Did I measure it before I washed it? No, I always forget. It blocked out beautifully. I didn't, okay. It's Bamboo Pop. And Bamboo Pop, which is 50% cotton and 50% bamboo, is machine wash warm, 2 dots in the tub of water, no hand. So no hand in the tub of water means it's machine wash, and 2 dots is warm. No triangles, so I think that means no bleach, no irons, and a line through the dryer, I think means, or through the square, I think means dry low. So machine wash warm, dry low. I don't have a working dryer right now, and I wasn't planning on machine washing it. I don't think it's like, hi Betsy, I don't think, I see you watching me. I don't think it's like linen that has to be machine washed. So I'm gonna pretend that I don't think it needs to be machine washed, and I soaked it overnight, and then I squooshed it, and I'm gonna do that to another swatch in just a minute so you can see. And then I laid it flat to dry on my official blocking Johnny Depp, I call it Johnny Depp, but Pirates of the Caribbean placemat. It's very, very shiny and smooth on one side. So that's my official swatch blocking mat, because then the fabric can shrink if it wants to shrink or grow if it wants to grow. And I did kind of scooch it on the sides into shape so it was kind of straight. And it dried, and oops, I touched something. It dried, and I do have a, hi, did you want to sit on my lap or just stand the whole time? Stand, okay, very convenient. Oh, it's longer than 12 inches, so let's look for a, there we go, phew. Less cats, okay. Tape measure, this one says Namaste from before they were the Namaste they are now. Now they're owned by Jimmy Beans, before they were their own company. And they went away, and then Jimmy Beans, I'm going to say saved them because it's a nice company. Okay, it's measuring, oh, so it's measuring about 13.5 inches by 5.5-ish, which means nothing right now. It means nothing right now. And then I used a bigger needle. I used a 5, right? That's what we decided. And the yarn says they recommend a 4, which means I would normally be on a 2-ish. And so I went up because I wanted it to be a drapier fabric. This is for my boxy tee. You know, I've held that up a few times. It's, I don't know where it is. I saw it recently. Yeah, it's somewhere. But this is what I think I'm going to do for fabric. It just sort of, I didn't plan on doing garter stitch. I didn't plan on doing big wide stripes all the way up. I didn't plan on it not being a black sweater, although technically it's going to be a black sweater. I did plan on the front flap because it's going to have a split on the side. So the front flap's going to, the front of the sweater is going to be shorter than the back by about 3 inches. because that's the way the inspiration garment, whoever used those words, that was great, which is somewhere, the back is 3 inches longer than the front. And and I want the amount in the front and the amount in the back all to be black so that all the stripes will line up. And I originally was going to have them just be down here, maybe, with the black hanging there. And now I think if I put my, let's see, if I hang it where I want it to hang, I'm going to talk about gauge some more. And if I put the other green here, it's pretty close. Okay, so I think I might have to add one more stripe, and that makes me sad because, well, okay, so I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another set of these on top, but that makes me sad because it would be green, gray, green, gray, green, gray. And that's not matchy-matchy, gray to green. And if you know me, you know I like to be matchy-matchy. So I'm working on that. But now that it's dry, I can take a measurement, and from that, 2 measurements, well, lots of measurements, but I can get the stitches per inch and the rows per inch. And from the stitches per inch and the rows per inch, I can figure out 2 things. One is, well, lots of things, but the things I'm going to do first are, what are my stitches and rows per inch so that I can calculate, like I want it to be, oh my gosh, here's the folder right on top. Okay, if we remember my lovely drawing, also done on Illustrator, if I want it to be 23 inches across, and let's say my gauge is, oh, I don't know, let's measure it. I'm sorry I don't have another camera set up. What did I say? Inches across, so we want to measure stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to go with 21 with one measurement, which is not the way you're supposed to take your gauge. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, that's on an end though. Let's try over here. I'll use the end. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, between 19, 20, and 21, guess what? The average is 20. So we're going to use 20, which is what's printed on the label. And I had to use a 5 to get there. That's weird. Doesn't matter. 20 stitches over 4 inches is 5 stitches to the inch, because 20 divided by 4 is 5. Oops, staples. And handy dandy calculator. Oh yeah, 20 divided by 4 is 5. And then I wanted 23 inches, and we have 5 stitches to the inch. So I would cast on 115 stitches, and off I'd go. And it's garter stitch, which means I don't have to do any weird figuring out of stitch repeats or anything. So, whoops, where'd I go? Oh gosh darn it, there I am. So, yep. So I could start and say 115 stitches or 110, whatever. Because it's drapey though, and cotton and bamboo, so cotton tends to grow this way when you wash it, side to side, and to shrink up in length side when you wash it in the machine. And bamboo tends to droop this way, which would make it thinner from side to side. So the cotton bamboo combination, hi Ellen, the cotton bamboo combination, they help each other out to try to stay, keep their shape. So again, I forgot to measure it before because I'm always impatient. I almost always forget. I've taken my gauge class and I make you measure it before, well, I don't actually, but I tell you you should measure it before we block it, you block it. Anyway, and I say I often forget. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to straighten this with mirror image. I forgot again. So I could measure it more accurately now that it's dry. It's really dry. And then I think I'm going to, I know I'm going to, because I got this out. I'm going to take a skirt hanger. It's actually a pants hanger, but you know what? Whoops. And it comes apart. So there's that. And then I've never done this before, but there's something called hung gauge, H-U-N-G, which means it could grow, you know, because gravity. if you've taken my classes, you've heard me say knitting is stretchy and gravity exists. So, whoops, well, that didn't work. So what I'm going to do, all you got to do is, now that it's dry, so I don't want to do it while it's wet. I do want to do it while the hanger stays together, though. There. Okay, is it going to stay? I'm going to hang this in the closet for a little while. Oh, first I have to measure it without stretching. And then I want to hang it like that overnight, maybe a couple nights, and see if it's going to grow just from hanging. And when it hangs on me, it's going to be like hanging on me. So, you know, I'm kind of holding it in place with my body, but the boobs and shoulders. But the part that's hanging lower is sort of free hanging until it gets to the belly. But hopefully the 23 inches is going to skirt that belly, sweater that belly, and hang free. That would be nice. So there we go. And then, so we're going to measure the gauge after this lovely chat. And then we're going to hang it, and then we're going to measure it again and see what happens. And then using all that important stuff, which I'm going to write down, probably in that folder that I showed you that says Boxy Drop Shoulder on it. And then I'll make the decision with knowing how many rows I'm going to have, because I'll know how long it's going to be. I know how long I want it to be. And then I'll know with my finished gauge measurement, row gauge, I'll know how many ridges of garter stitch will fit in there, and then I can do calculations for how many of these guys I can fit in there. And then the top will be black. That's where all the neck excitement's happening, and the bottom will be black. And then I can finally cast on and make the thing. I still don't know. I kind of want to do the stripes all the way up. Isn't that fun? Pretend it's, oh gosh. But the problem then is, so I've solved the problem that I don't have to cut the stripes because that'll be below the neck opening. But this is supposed to be 23 inches wide, and I'm only like 14 inches wide. So it's going to hang down quite a bit because remember, it's a boxy drop shoulder. So do I want the, you have bones. They're called acromia, the acromion 13.5. So there's a bone right here. Oh, see, nice dent where my bra strap was. But there's a bone right there, and if you do the funky chicken, not shrugging, that's shrugging. But if you do the funky chicken, you can feel that that bone stays there, and your arm bone comes up from underneath. Let's put everything back on. That was exciting. A little X rating, R rating there. The measurement from that shoulder bone to the top of that shoulder bone to the top of the other shoulder bone, the acromion. I assume the plural is acromia, but that's your shoulder measurement, and that is a bone structure measurement, and that's not going to change unless you like break your collarbone or something. So that's a good measurement to know because you can make your sweaters look like they fit great if you can line up, for example, drop shoulder, not drop shoulder, set-in sleeve seams on that line. So I'm wearing a t-shirt that I bought at the grocery store, the organic grocery store. I have to not look in the picture. There. And it is 100% bamboo. It's organic. And it's just a t-shirt, but it's really comfy. And it's a set-in sleeve. It's not a drop shoulder. You can see the shape of the armhole. But the set-in sleeve is dropping over the edge of my shoulder. So this is too big in the shoulders. And that is true of a lot of garments that you purchase. They are going to be too big in the shoulders if they fit you around. And this fits me. There we go. This has enough ease that I'm, it's fitting over the cookies and the boobs. And what I end up with is shoulders that are this wide. If I got in the medium, the shoulders would be a little higher up, maybe perfect, I don't know. But this part would be way more clingy, and then I'd be not a happy camper because nobody needs to see the cookies. I see them all by myself. I don't need to, no sharing of the cookies with anybody else. So there's your lesson in shoulders. So if I'd have the stripes go all the way up, so let's pretend that's the center front. Okay, that I can't hold straight. If I have the stripes go all the way up, I wonder if I can flip this. Someday I'll like do the Google for the Facebook Live and see if I can like do stuff. Like if I could flip it, that would be great. Do I want these stripes to go and drop over my shoulders? I haven't decided, because not like that. Not like that. It would be more like that. I think maybe. And then I wanted the sleeves to be black. I don't want to, or to see, yesterday most days I have a black t-shirt on, and when I put this up there and then I had a black sleeve hanging out, that looks cool. But this will go more like that, and then a black shoulder sleeve, or instead of doing a drop shoulder sweater, that would still look okay. It's hard to imagine. Okay, so I'd have a little tiny sleeve there, just because it's going to be short sleeves. Or instead of doing a drop shoulder sweater, I can do all the boxy stuff at the bottom that I wanted to, and when I get to the underarms, I can cast on and make it a true t-shirt, all one piece, two pieces, front and back. So that's an option, and then the stripes would truly go like that. I think I might still want them to be black. What do you think? Do you have any opinions? I mean, that you want to share? Of course you have opinions. That could be, And there'd be a little, well, we're already going to have a shoulder seam. So that would make the seam go all the way down the top of the seam. See, I have time because I need to measure this and then hang it for a few days and then measure it again. So I have time. And then I can start on the big boxy bottom part, and I have all the knitting to do before I have to decide what happens above the armholes. So, nothing like designing on the fly. You like black for the sleeves, Lisa? I do too. And it could be a modified drop shoulder where I do have the seams here, and I make square armholes, and the black sleeve plugs in, but then the stripes are in. I don't know. And this, I think I like black too. I don't think I want straight sleeves. I forget. Oh, it worked up. The swatch worked up. I'm going to say really fast. I'd stayed up till 4 in the morning again. That's my swatching time. Apparently I have stuff ready to swatch tonight, but I don't want to stay up till 4. Because I had to get up to go to the dentist today, and I was super tired. There's Clara. Hi, Clara. Coming in to check on her coworker who's in her cubicle. Okay, so here's a game plan for that. I am going to measure the gauge, and then I'm going to write it down, and then I'm going to hang it for a few days, perfectly dry, hang it in what, it's humid in here, but whatever, in the closet over there behind the doors that are shut, because I don't want the cat in there. My coworkers go in there and make messes. And then I'll measure it again and write that down. And if it's no different, that's awesome. If I had made the stitches firmer, used a smaller needle, then maybe there'd be no difference. It would hold it in place. But because I made it kind of droopy, Irene, no drop shoulder. Hold on. Crap, what was I talking about? Oh, because I made it drapey, because I wanted it to be drapey, then, yeah, there's stretch possibilities. Okay, that's what I was trying to finish. And then I saw that Irene said, hi, Kat. Clarice, I'm sure Clara would say hi. I hear her panting. She's behind me. She's taking a break. Irene says, you asked, no drop shoulders. Set-in sleeve. No, see, I'm not doing set-in sleeves this time. Black sleeves, maybe. T-shaped with stripes is my vote. Yes, square indent might work. So Irene, I don't know if you know, there's an inspiration garment that I'm copying. It's a J. Jill garment from my closet that's a linen and viscose blend. It's super drapey. I wear it over, it's kind of not see-through, but it's, well, see-through, because when I just put that on, Meg said I can see your bra, so I put something on underneath it. Well, I paid a lot of money for the bra. It's not so that everybody can see it. Not everybody can see it. Okay, more R rating there. Yeah, so good news is I can get started and knit the body because I'm going to go from the bottom up. And I do know I'm going to do short rows on the top for the shoulders. It's interesting when I put it, so I posted a picture, some pictures of me on Instagram and the Facebook. The one where, see, so if I don't touch it, and you can see the slope of my shoulder. That's why we need shoulder shaping. Because, you know, look how straight, oh boy, look how straight that is actually until it starts falling off my shoulder. That's nice and straight. I did a good job. And, but you can see that the black part is wider here because that's what the shoulder shaping would make. Isn't that awesome? That black triangle is what the not the shoulder shaping, the short row shaping would make. So I wanted to do short row shaping, and you know what, especially if it's straight. Yeah, okay. And then, yep. I still like that idea. Okay, so the body part I know. Fran, I will take a minute and see if I can find the inspiration garment. I saw it recently. But yes, I will look for it in a minute. And then Irene says, if it matters, when the sleeve seam is on your arm, it makes the boobs look larger. Do you mean the seam where the sleeve attaches to the body, or if I were to seam it all the way down? Well, Lisa, okay, let me do one thing at a time. Oh boy, there are a lot of bags. Let me stand up. Isn't this exciting? What you don't know yet is I've been blocking something. I'm going to take it out of the water in a couple minutes. So don't go away because that won't be messy at all. Is it right there? No. It's got to be, whoops. It's either close by or it isn't. Clara, do you know where it is? It should be. I want to say it was in here. Do you guys see it? Because last time I couldn't find something, it was right here. Yeah. All right. Oh, I know where it is. Hang on. Clara, let's go get it. I got it. Okay. You guys are so sleeve to body. Okay, so Irene, what if I just did it all in one piece like a T then? If you can hear me. Oh, Sam didn't like that idea. Okay, so here's me. I'm wearing a skirt. It's not a pair of jeans. You can see my cookies. And you can see my butt still though. See my butt? So that's the round part of my butt, and this hides it. So that's very flattering. So I want the back of the sweater to be that long. And the front of the sweater is about 3 inches shorter, and it's still covering, you know, the cookies. And then it hangs, it's kind of hanging kind of wide, but it's just a slit. It's just not sewn for that part. There we go. So that's what I want to do. And then straight up, so it's boxy, it's straight up, it's pulling out because it's on my arms. And then, this is how much I love you, Fran. And then there's no sleeve armhole shaping. It's just a box. So it measured 23 across the bottom. It measures 23 from shoulder seam to shoulder seam. And then it has these little tiny sleeves from here So drop shoulder. Remember, my shoulder seam would be up here if I were wearing a drop shoulder, set-in sleeve sweater that fit me. But this one is here because that's where the 23 inches hits me. And then a little tiny, I keep wanting to call it a pin sleeve, a little tube that probably doesn't even have any shaping. And it goes to exactly the right spot on my arm where I don't hit it, not too much anyway, with my elbow when I bend it. See, that's where I think a short sleeve should be. Don't get me started about the little girl in Gap that thought that short sleeve was the same as cap sleeve. I'm like, oh, no, 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 which maybe it is these days, so my bad. But so that's the inspiration garment. Very narrow schneck-schnaping. Now I know where it is. And then this was my beautiful Illustrator drawing that I then massacred with the measurements I took. So 23 across the bottom. You can see the shoulder shaping. So that triangle that's right here, that's the black that you saw on my shoulder when I held it up on my shoulder. That's where the shoulder shaping will come in handy. And then I drew it with like shaping on the sleeves, but I don't think I would actually shape the sleeves. You saw that by the time it gets to where it's going to be, it can just be a little tube. Did I measure? I did. I do have that it was 6 inches tall here and 5 inches tall here. So I could do shaping. I don't know. Okay, so let's see what people are saying. So Irene says if you can see that seam, the drop shoulder seam, that it makes your boobs look bigger. Well, my boobs are bigger because cookies. It's really weird. But just a little secret for you. Lots of cookies equals you need bigger bras. Or something. So I don't really want to enhance that. And that navy blue, it's navy blue, by the way. The inspiration garment, because it's all the same color, you don't really see those seams that she's talking about. So that's maybe not making my boobs look big, if I may just say boobs 800 times, boobs, boobs, boobs. But if I were to have stripes and then go to a black sleeve, that's going to be noticeable. But if I do the T shape and extend the stripes out, which I could do, and if I don't like it, I can tear it back, because I've never turned back a sweater before. Okay, so that's what Bamboo, my friend Bamboo, that's what Irene says. No, Irene, I don't want to use a size 3. I want it to be drapey. You are not playing along with the inspiration garment idea. All right, what do I need to get caught up on? Fran, I hope you're happy. Irene, I talked to you. You're not going to be happy. You're my, you know what you should do, and tell me like it is. But you're giving me all the like, Bamboo Pop should be knit more firmly. You're right, it should. I'm not doing that. That's why I'm being so careful with the gauge swatches, because I want it to be more drapey. And I've not worked with bamboo and cotton blend together before. I did buy some bamboo yarn I showed you a couple weeks ago. 100% bamboo. That'll be interesting to work with. That's gonna be a shrug. I'm not gonna start that right now. I think I might try to be a little bit project monogamous. Lisa says, so the Bamboo Pop came out to gauge. Well, yes, accidentally. But I bet if I use smaller needles, I might even get the same gauge, but then the rows might be, I mean, what was the row gauge? Let's find that out, Sarah. How am I doing for time? All right. 20, oh my God, I can't read that. 26 rows. Well, that's in stockinette, so there's a problem because this is not. And I didn't measure the row gauge because I want to see. So we're looking at approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You could say 16 ridges, which is 32 rows. So that's not the gauge on here because this is stockinette stitch gauge. And what did I say? Oh, 20. See, okay, math. If it was like the ideal gauge that would hold its shape, because it's garter stitch, then there would probably be twice as many rows as there are stitches per inch, or the same number of ridges made up of 2 rows each as there are stitches per inch, because that's how garter stitch works. But because I'm knitting it on a bigger needle, it's drooping more and has fewer rows. So that's what we're seeing with the math, and I'm okay with that. There's math and it's working. Okay, so yeah, so kind of to gauge and kind of not, Lisa. But that's why we swatch. And I'm making the sweater up from scratch, so whatever gauge that I get that I like, that's the gauge of the sweater. It's not, I'm not having to match a gauge with anything. I'm not substituting a yarn. I'm basing it on this yarn on this needle in garter stitch. So I'm the boss. That's what I love about doing this. Okay, Irene loves bamboo pop, but she thinks I should use a 3, which would be my normal gauge needle, sorry, a 2 or a 3 since it's at a 4. Yeah, and I'm getting 5 stitches to the inch, Irene. So it's just that the rows are going to be droopier because I want it to be droopier. Lisa likes it even if it's rated R. I do too. I mean, and I wear it's indigo blue. I don't know if you could tell, and I wear a lime, well, you know, this color green, because this is actually more blue looking. I think it's more yellow in person. It's more of a yellow green in person, but I could be wrong. But I love a yellowy blue green, and that's the color of tank that I wear, gosh, underneath the indigo. And then it shows in the slit there, you know, the slit that shows between where my cookies are hidden and my butt's hidden. Okay, I did a drawing with the stripes, Irene. It's on a post recently. But I did draw it out. I did put the stripes in for the width of the sleeves, but I can't, and I was like trying to bend it in Illustrator, but I'm not very good at curving things. So I might just go for it, go for it, because that's what I do. If I don't tear a sweater out at least once, I haven't tried hard enough. Okay, you're welcome, Fran. Hi, Margaret. Boxy would look sloppy on me. Well, see, I disagree, because that's where the whole front length and back lengths come in. There are flattering lengths where boxy, you can get away with boxy. So I'm treating my cookie boobs as a shelf from which my boxy sweater will hang. It won't be form-fitting because it's bigger than around than I am. So if it hangs nicely off of my, whoops. Let's see, let's get everybody on. Okay, I just spilled an entire glass of water on my front, so that's cold. But not on the computer, so that's good. Okay, and now my swatch is a little damp. What was I talking about? Oh, so hanging over, see, but not clinging. So it's gonna, I want it to hang over and then down. And then on the front, it will hang, this is gonna be really cold. Woo! Fortunately, I have a giant towel. Clara's like, what? Wait, it's only water? Yeah, so, oh, hi, I'm a little pin person. It's very cold where I'm sitting right now in my wet skirt. I could take it off, you wouldn't know. Yeah, so the boxiness, because it's oversized, it's going to hang over things. Because it's a certain length in the front, it's going to hang longer than my belly. And because it's going to hang longer than the widest part of my bottom in the back, it's going to be more flattering. So I disagree that it would look sloppy on you. I think I challenge you to make a top that fits in the right places and hangs over the other places. Okay, now I lost my mouse. Here it is. Okay, everything's dry except me. That was exciting. Oh my gosh, it's like, you know, a tornado or a flood. All right, so I think I'm caught up on comments. Phew. So what I've decided is now I have to let this dry again because I got wet. So I'm putting it back on Johnny Depp, although I'll need Johnny Depp again in a second. I'll measure it, and then I'll hang it, and then I'll measure it. Dry it, measure it, hang it, measure it. Write everything down, and then I could start the bottom. That's a lot of knitting. Oh, I'm sitting on it. See, it's always behind me when I can't find it, except when it's in the other room. This is a lot of knitting. The front and back up to the armhole. It would be a lot of knitting for me to do and get done successfully. Excuse me. Yeah, J. Jill. It's funny, the time when I bought this, I went to J. Jill. That's a whole nother story. And you know, they're very lovely, and they'll say, "Can I put that in a waiting room for you?" And because I keep, you know, they don't have a limit. And I'm like, yes, yes. And when I finally went into the waiting room, everything was navy blue. It was in my, or black, of course. Fran wants to know how much ease that is on me. Well, on a normal day, my boobs are, I measure 38 inches around at the widest. Do you know how to measure yourself for a bra the real way? So I keep putting the tape measure away. I didn't know that I was going to spend this much time talking about this. This is good, actually. Okay, here we go. So when you, I'm not going to, you know, take off my shirt, but when you actually get measured for a bra, you need to know what your measurement is underneath, right? And I am wearing a bra right now. And mine, I can't see it, but it should be around 34. Okay, it was like right in here, between the 33 and the 34. So we're going to say 34, and that is your band size. I didn't know that, and I always wore the wrong size until I found this out. And then the wider part that the cookie's affected, that is another measurement, and on me it's usually 38. Oh look, it's 39 today. Okay, so it's 39 today, but lately, usually it's been 38. So this would explain why I'm spilling out of my bras right now, because they are a 34D. Okay, it's all about boobs today, mine in particular. So the number for a bra, and this can vary, in just like any women's clothing, this can vary based on manufacturer. And then there's half sizes, and we're not always the same size, and other medical issues or personal issues or body issues, not issues, but like differences. Right, back to bras. So the number that you measure underneath, that's the band size, and then the bigger around part. And I'm wearing a bra right now that has padding in it. When I first got them, it was my first like padded bras, and they were like giant spaceships. They were impressive, and now I'm used to them, and they're much older. But regardless, my measurement was normally 38 there after 2 children. So, because it didn't used to be. 38 minus 34, or 34 plus 35, 36, 37, 38, plus 4 inches makes 38. That is your cup size. So I used to wear a 38, because that's what I measured around at the widest, B, because that's what I tried on and everything fit into. But I should be wearing a 34 A, B, C, D, and so that's what I bought when I found that out, and they fit beautifully and hold everything in place. And when I go like this, it stays there and doesn't go whoop like the 38B did, because 38 wasn't going to stay there. So now I just measured 39. I'm wearing 38s, and that would explain why there's a little extra cookie going on there. Okay, so normally my chest measures 38. I'm getting to it, Fran. Normally it measures 38. That garment that I pulled from my closet, which I lost again, this one, and this is why I like to design things based on my closet, because it already fits me the way I want it to fit. Who cares how much ease it is? But since you asked, it was 23 inches across, which is 46 around, and I'm usually 38 around. I can't subtract. 46 minus 38 is 19? No. 9? 9. 9 inches of ease? No. It's got to be an 8. It's 8 inches of ease. 46 minus 38 is 8 inches of ease. Although right now it's going to be 7 or 6 inches of ease because I'm a little bigger. So it's quite a bit of ease. If you're still here, the answer to your question is 8. So that's, 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. It's not as much as you would think, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. So 46 inches around. So if I'm 38 inches around, I'm 19 inches wide. My sweater's 23 inches wide, right? So 4 inches on the front and 4 inches in the back. That's 8. We got it. See, math. So you can all watch, the train wreck. I'm going to start that. I have, 8 or 9,000 other projects going on, but this is going to be so easy to work on that I'm going to go for it as soon as I do the things. Let it dry again. Measure. That's because I ate a lot of cookies, Fran. That's around my boobs, which are bigger than down here, right? So it's more around the 34 inches than it is around the 38, more ease. She thinks that's more ease than she expected based on what her visual perception of me in the little screen showed before I spilled the water. This was full and now it's not. What's that? Oh, that's my staples that I found earlier. Now they're wet. Anyway, let's block the other sweater. I think I've got a plan at least to get things measured and get started. So what I have here, besides empty glass of water, God, I almost did it again, which wouldn't matter, right, because it's empty, is, look at that, it's like Zoom, but all one window. So this is a mixing bowl that I got for free from my friend Jessie when she put a thing on Facebook saying, I got free stuff on my curb, and I drove over and got a set of bowls. It's melamine, I love it, dishwasher safe. Perfect for blocking. So this is a swatch I made the other night till 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's what I do. And it's for a class that I'm teaching for Fiber World. I couldn't think of the name. Oh my gosh, this is actually cool. Okay, and it's been soaking since I got home from work yesterday at 6:30. It's 6-ish. Let's say 6-ish. I don't remember when I got home from work because I went grocery shopping and there was rain and I had to do a delivery and blah, blah, blah. Not like of babies, but of knitting things. So it's been soaking. It's super wash wool. It's Malabrigo Rios, but I don't care. I don't machine wash my things unless they need to be like linen. So it's been soaking in this water. No, I didn't put any soap in. I just don't. I do when I wash them. I make choices. And I am not wringing it. That would be bad. Even though, oops. But I'm squishing it until I'm not getting too much liquid left. And then I'm going to move this and hopefully not spill it on my lap. Not that I could get any more wet. And then, watch this. Whoop! Conveniently, I have a beach towel here because, holy cow, I needed it a minute ago when I spilled all my water. So yay me. Oh my gosh, I love how this is working out. I should do this more often. So there's my swatch. It's Feather and Fan, 2 colors of Malabrigo Rios. It doesn't have to be beautiful. I'm just going to roll it up. This is what I do when I'm blocking my swatches. I've been making big swatches lately because guess what? I want to know how big things are. Okay, and then I usually put this on the floor and walk on it with my shoes on. My indoor shoes, or without my shoes on. But what I'll do is I'll get my phone and I'll fire up Free Cell or Solitaire, and I will walk back and forth on this until I win a game or until I need to pee. I don't have a boob story for that. Right now, I'm just sort of pushing on it like you might. I'm not really pushing it like you might need bread, but I'm pushing as hard as I can, but I am sitting, so that's not very hard. Plus, the towel was already a little bit wet because I put it on my desk to sop up all the water that I spilled. Margaret, I just realized I still owe you an answer. I will do that tomorrow, if not the rest of today. I had a dental appointment this morning, and did I mention I've been staying up till 4 every night? Ugh. but I hit some deadlines the last couple of days, so now I can look at my email and do things like spill water and block swatches. Okay, so then we open up the towel, and this sucker is pretty dry. Now it's Malabrigo Rios, which is a superwash bowl, so it's probably retaining a little, it's, you know, tends to suck in the water, and it tends to stretch when it's wet. I mean, I could really stretch that out right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So I'm just gonna go like this and let it be what it is. And then they have it on, you know, Johnny Depp, who is nice and slippery. So I might, as I walk by later, and then I put it somewhere that I can walk by. So I've also done this just on my kitchen counter. I've just cleared off a big area in my laundry room. It's called a counter. I cleared off the countertop in my laundry room. But as I walk by, I'll just keep, you know, now it's like pie crust instead of bread dough. But I'll just let it be what it wants to be. See how I'm just not trying to make it be a shape. I'm just letting it be what it wants to be. Whew, that's how I like to, So that's how I like to block things when I'm going to design from them. That's just a swatch for a class, but it could become a scarf or whatever. But now I know what size that stitch on that needle with that yarn wants to be. I didn't tell it to be a size. If I'm trying to match the gauge of a pattern and I'm using either the yarn they called for or a different yarn and I'm trying to match gauge, then I might block it to a shape, to a size. To make it be closer. But when you're designing from scratch, you get to be the boss. And well, no, you don't. I let the fabric be the boss. I give it. I choose the yarn, the stitch pattern, and the needle size, right, or type also. And then I make the swatch, and then I let the swatch be the boss and dry to the shape it wants to be. Now, there's asterisks. Like if it was a lace that needs to be stretched out, then I would stretch it out to open up the lace. But you still have some leeway in how much you stretch that out. But anyway, so that's going to just dry, and then I'll know what the gauge of that is, but I don't care because it's just a sample for a class. Knit Ripples, by the way, Fiber World in July. This is the lacy one, the garter stitch that has lace in it. The garter stitch one was here. Whoops. Oh, hold on. The garter stitch one is here because I'm organized today and I have all my files. Oh, Clara, it must be close to 6. Yep. This is the garter stitch one I did before. Did I swat? I don't know if I blocked this one. That's the garter stitch one. I used scraps. So getting ready for classes. You'll see a parade of granny squares at some point as soon as I finish the ripples. So that's what I have for you today. So talking about I mean, you know, we talked about blocking, and I block things, and I'm measuring things, and using the blocked this thing. Now it has to compete for space on Johnny Depp, though. I will figure out how many stitches to cast on and get my sweater started and start the body, because that's going to be boxy and 23 inches wide regardless. So I can get that started, and then we can think about, I'm open to more suggestions, even if I say no, Irene. But I'm open to discussing, obviously, what's going to happen. Now I'm thinking about stripes like a T, in which case there will be no shoulder, but there will be a seam for stability, because, yeah. Okay, I'm done. So thanks for listening. I'm glad you showed up, even though I didn't tell you I was going to do this. I didn't put out a thing. And I'll listen to it and see if maybe I made the sound problem go away by being in a different place and closing my other browser, which means I won't know which thing made the difference, but more data to collect anyway. So thanks for joining me. Oh, as an aside, Woven Art sale starts Thursday, July 1st, and I'm coming out of my Thursday retirement to work on Thursday for the sale. So I'll be there all day Wednesday getting ready, and then I'll be there Thursday to sell you all the things. Okay, thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for the answers to the striped sweater. Okay.